to see Godzilla throw down with a blue whale. That would be dope.
Hello, welcome to Geeks and Gaijins. I'm the Gaijin John.
I'm the Geek Tom.
And welcome to our podcast where we look at Japan from both the East
and the West.
We just look at Japanese culture and all those things from so many different perspectives. So many, because I live in Japan.
So many. Two
whole perspectives. Yeah, sorry, Jardo couldn't be with us this week. He has a life to live.
How? There's really nothing going on right now.
I know. I mean, like, Tokyo cancelled the Olympics. Oh, no. Spoilers for the rest of the podcast.
Might as well get into it.
Yeah. Tokyo postponed the Olympics by a year. Thomas, thoughts?
Good. They really should have done that. That makes a lot of sense for the health and safety of everyone in general. Also makes a lot of economic sense because if they ran it anyway, no one would show up.
Both Canada and Australia had basically withdrawn their athletes.
Oh no, such great losses as the Canadian and Australian sports teams. However, will we cope?
Thomas, don't get them angry at us. They will kill us with kindness. Well, the Canadians will. I don't know what the Australians will do, but it'll be loud.
I am sorry. Jardo's not here this week, so I can say whatever I want about the Australians.
Exactly. They're all very lovely people. Got you.
They are very chill. I like them.
Though, being in Japan on the ground, as I am, I spoke to actual Japanese people about the Japanese Olympics, I know. And it was an absolute foregone conclusion. They were like several days before it. Yeah, it's going to be delayed. Oh, it's so going to be delayed. I'm like, yeah, this is bad, isn't it? Because by the time, I think we literally were recording the last podcast the day the news came out. By that point, Abe Shinzo essentially went, yeah, we might have to look into postponing it. Everyone's like instantly, that means it's postponed. This is Japanese inference at its finest.
Nice.
Because, most Japanese laws are like phrased as a request. It's a request.
Please no murder.
No, I'm just gonna...
Please no steal.
Publicly shame you.
I mean, no, they're going to incarcerate you with like a 98% conviction rate, so don't worry about it.
And shame you. No. That's sad and annoying. But Japan is still ignoring coronavirus, so let's see how that goes. Oh, yeah. Like, Tokyo was told to lock down this weekend, and they were kind of helped by the fact that snow happened in Tokyo for some reason in spring. Global warming totally doesn't exist, guys.
Climate change.
That as well. It's a liberal myth.
It happened in Japan because it's close to China, which is exporting the climate change, as we all know.
Exactly. For our non-English listeners, this is sarcasm. Like, please don't think we're this stupid. Anyway, the governor of Tokyo told them, you guys should stay inside. And Japan went, okay, we're going to go out anyway. I'm sorry. Japan, I was out this weekend because I had to do essential things, like get my photograph taken for a Japanese driving license. So I went to the store to go get it done.
Nice.
No one here cares. No one, like, the entire store is... Because it's also spring holiday, so the stores are just filled with kids and stuff.
Oh, man.
My prefecture doesn't have any official cases yet. Whether that will be true by the time this episode gets uploaded, who knows? But no official cases.
What's like the availability of your testing kits over there like?
The thing is, Japan has tests, they're just not using them.
Oh no. Which means those Tokyo trains are still packed full of people.
Yes, though apparently 10% of Japanese workers are currently teleworking, which doesn't sound like a lot, but God, is that big for Japan. Like, seriously, this is a country that still uses fax machines. And now 10% of them are working using this newfangled thing called the internet.
How bizarre.
Or Nihongo de, in Japanese, interneto. It's the same word.
That tends to be the case with anything we try and do here.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, you expect me to actually speak Japanese? Dear God.
No, not really.
Thomas, how have you been? Here's the English side of the coronavirus.
Well, English side from the perspective of a person who lives in the country and doesn't interact with many people anyway. Things have real slowed down. Everyone's staying inside. The government have been very strict about not going out unless you need food, medicine, or absolutely have to be in a physical location for work. So everything's shut down rapidly around here. I've just finished my first week of not going into work. So things are interesting. We're adapting slowly. It's very English of us not to complain about it and just sort of try and get through it.
How sensitive have you become to sunlight?
I mean, I already treated the outdoors like a vampire, so I mean, not significantly different.
Have you been clapping for the NHS, Thomas?
I mean,
or shaking hands with Boris Johnson?
I've definitely not been doing any shaking of any hands. I've been keeping my 2-meter distance.
You should tell him.
Next time I see the Prime Minister, I'll remember to bring a very long stick to make sure that he keeps a certain distance away from me. Not because of coronavirus, just, in general.
Anyway, we're going to talk more about Japan maybe and less about really depressing topics. Speaking of depressing topics, ARMS.
Yes, so Nintendo just surprise announced a Direct Mini the last week, which threw off one of my plans, which was to make this segment sometime ahead of time, just so that we could talk about it without any speculation being interrupted. But they did it anyway, and they announced that the second fighter pass for Smash Ultimate will be delayed. We've already talked about Smash DLC a little bit before with the Byleth release. So I thought we'd follow up on that when the next opportunity arose, and this is it.
Yay.
So the actual character announcement has been delayed till June, but we do know at least what franchise it's going to be.
This is for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and essentially big Nintendo fighting game where all Nintendo characters fight, except some characters have not been from Nintendo, but this one thoroughly is.
Yes. So they announced that the new character would be a character from ARMS to polite applause, I guess. No one really was expecting it to be a fighting game that was a launch title for the Switch with a fairly small player base.
The question that both I have and everyone has, which is, what is ARMS? What was that? ARMS? That's a game. Does he mean Knuckles? No, ARMS. From what I have seen, because I have not played this game, though apparently some people have, because it's sold.
I've played 15 minutes of it.
I think you and a lot of people have. And then put it down, never to be seen again.
Sounds about right.
Well, tell me if I'm wrong then. It seems to be the boxing minigame from Wii Sports turned into an entire game.
Entire game might be a stretch.
Okay.
It is a traditional fighting game meets Wii Sports boxing. A fighting game that uses motion controls to control your fists.
Oh, I love those.
It's been criticized for not being all that deep as a fighting game, which, if anything about fighting game players, they love their sick combos and their strange techs. And this game does not have that. But yes, anyway, it's a small game with a very small audience, despite having a lot of people having access to it because it was one of the few titles available for Switch at launch, along with, 3-2-1 Switch or whatever the heck it was.
What? Oh, God, Nintendo had bad support for the Switch at launch.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Breath of the Wild wasn't a release game,
No, I think Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey both came out later, and then they completely outshone any of the launch titles, so people forgot about them. Like
an updated Mario Kart was launch title. I remember that.
Yes. Which, to be fair, that's all you really need.
The Switch is great now, but God, is that a bad release? God, is that a bad release set of games? So anyway, they have a character from Arms.
Yes, they've chosen to have another first-party representative in their DLC, which isn't really a surprise. They already had Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses as their last one, and although not a paid character, they also released Piranha Plant as their first DLC fighter. So it's not unusual for Nintendo to use this to host their own IPs.
He's a paid character now, by the way. You have to buy him.
Oh, it was free for a certain amount of time, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously, due with the whole virus situation shutting down travel and meetings and stuff like that, it's a lot easier for Nintendo and the Smash team to put out characters that Nintendo owns rather than try and meet up with other companies in order to discuss and rearrange their characters, which is doubly so for any character that might come from an American company, because that's really hard to sort out with no one being able to move in and out of Japan.
Oh, yeah. I also announcement. Literally, there is an entry ban that has just been announced to anyone from the US, China, and most of Europe. So, Thomas, you can't come and visit. I'm sorry.
Oh, my plans are ruined. Oh, God, what am I going to do with them?
Also, I can't leave. If I leave Japan, they can't let me back in. I have a valid visa. Nope, not allowed.
You broke the rules, John.
I didn't even break the rules. There is oh dear, but no.
So yeah, there's some speculation that they've rearranged the timetable on some of these fighters because of the whole coronavirus situation.
That would make sense. That would make a huge amount of sense because no one expected this as the main thing to sell a new set of DLC characters.
It feels like, to me, they had to make the announcement that the DLC was being delayed. Obviously, that just had to happen because otherwise people would be going crazy, wondering when the announcement's gonna happen. So I think they had to throw people a bone and go, okay, we can't give you the character on schedule, but we can at least let you know a little bit about what it's going to be. I feel like that was the thought process behind it.
Yeah, because Thomas knows much more about this than me.
Obviously, they decided to keep the hype bubbling over by keeping the speculation high, by not telling us which character it's going to be. They instead gave us a spreadsheet of 15 different characters it could be and gave us no other hints.
Because there's so many characters I love from Arms, Thomas. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face. So many memorable characters.
So many memorable characters.
I love Mr. Arms. And guess what? I think there's a Mrs. Arms as well.
Yes, we'll get into the potential for which character it's going to be in a little bit. There's also speculation that the announcement is delayed to June because that's going to be the same time that Nintendo makes an announcement for something with the Arms brand as well. Potentially, what everyone's suspecting is it might be a sequel because the original Arms game, as we said, is a launch title and is nearly 3 years old now. So it's about getting to that point where if a company wants to really capitalize on the brand, they're going to release a sequel. And it's not unusual for Nintendo to hype up a new game for a game that hasn't been announced yet with a character in Smash. See Corrin from Smash 4.
What you're saying, Thomas, is to give us hope in this trying time. Nintendo has gone, my children, we shall get through this, for through to June, you may know that Arms 2 will exist.
It's what we truly need in these trying times is
just the possibility of it existing has made me jump out of bed in the morning, going, now I know I must live, for Arms 2 shall arrive.
So on to the matter of what the character is actually likely to be.
Yeah, sorry, this is a lot of today's podcast because coronavirus is sad.
There's not a lot of news, if you couldn't already tell. So this is what we're doing now.
Because people are staying inside. Stay to listen to hear us talk about Arms.
So there's a slight chance...
Thomas.
John.
Is the sequel going to be called Legs?
I would not put it past them, but can we please focus on the matter at hand, please, John? Anyway, whilst John is in hysterics, as I was saying, there's a slight chance that they'll put in multiple characters like what they did with like a sort of
Mini Bowser,
like a Bowser Jr. type situation where they'll have like different models but the same move set, which doesn't make a lot of sense because each character is supposed to be defined by a particular like ability, but there's room for flexibility. The main issue I have with that is like there's some significantly different models to work with here. Like you have some characters that don't even use their arms for punching. Twintel uses her hair, and some are completely different sizes, so that doesn't really work an awful lot. You might get four which are all vaguely humanoids and about the same size. That would make sense.
I mean, Thomas, who are they going to annoy? The ARMS fan base.
I don't really know.
So who are these four characters that they might be?
Well, I'm going to go over the top 5 out of 15. Some of them can be easily ruled out, we think.
All right.
We don't really know. The most obvious contender for a role in Smash would obviously be the game's main mascot, Springman.
Mr. Arms.
Mr. Arms, indeed.
And that's all there is to say about it.
But let's see. There is room to believe that he would have been put in the game if they'd had the time, but I think Sakurai's mentioned before that both ARMS and Xenoblade 2 there was a mix-up with the timetables, and Smash was too far into development to add those characters at a reasonable time. But Springman did still get into Smash Ultimate as an assist trophy.
Do go on. So, Mr. Arms.
Mr. Arms, Springman, is an assist trophy. So there's a lot of hesitation about him being an actual fighter, because if they make an assist trophy into an actual fighter, that opens the floodgates for some pretty popular characters who have been relegated to assist trophy status.
Okay, Thomas, stop, because I'm going to need to explain this to people who don't speak nerd.
Yes.
So, in the game that has multiple Nintendo characters fighting each other, you can also get an item that lets other less popular characters assist you in fighting. So this can be like some Pokemon, they're not in the assist trophies, some Pokemon, some sidekick characters, whatever. However, I will use one particular example. One of the main assist trophies is a character called Waluigi. Is evil Luigi, and he has been an assist trophy forever, and so many it's basically a meme. It's a joke online that people want Waluigi in Smash. And
I mean, he's basically the only main Mario character who hasn't been included in Smash at this point. They added Piranha Plants.
What about Toad?
He's Peaches and Daisy's special.
Okay, fine. What
he's
about
there?
Okay, so's Waluigi. He's just an assist trophy. Anyway, therefore, like, people have some kind of mixed up thing in their head, like, if Mr. Springman can be a character, then that means Waluigi's a go, boys. Confirmed Waluigi in Smash. It's basically the internet going circles in each other, going,
Waluigi time.
That's what Waluigi says. So that is the end of the explanation section. Basically, this is the reasoning. The internet is weird.
Yes, I prepare for a lot more John explaining my nerd sections, because there's going to be a lot of them in the upcoming discussion.
They will be shorter than that.
I would also like to rule out Springman because his main gimmick in the original games is quite similar to something that already exists in Smash Ultimate. His gimmick is that when he's at low health, he gets a power-up, basically. He becomes a lot stronger, which, if you're familiar with Smash, not only works a lot like the inherent rage mechanic, where if you get a certain amount of damage received, you start dealing more damage. It's a lot like Lucario's aura ability, which is basically that, but more. And it's a lot like Terry's mechanic, where if he gets 100% damage or like 33 HP, he gets access to new abilities as well.
Okay.
So I don't think Springman makes an awful lot of sense to add.
All right.
So the next most obvious one would be Ribbon Girl, the other main mascot of ARMS.
Mrs. Arms, if you will.
Mrs. Arms.
Or Miss Arms. I don't know if they're married.
I don't think they are.
Though it would be slightly disconcerting if they had the same last name.
I'm not brushed up on my arms law, I'm afraid.
The deep arms law. Sorry. I'll stop derailing. No, I won't.
Anyway,
it's too funny.
Ribbon Girl already has a costume for the Mii fighters in Smash, so that kind of makes her a little bit sketchy.
But also, so another John explains, there are characters you can play in this, which are Miis, which are just characters you can design yourselves.
Everyone's owned a Wii, John. Everyone knows
I know.
what
They know what
Mii
they don't know what the Mii fighters are, though. You can play those in the game, and you can just customize to make them look what you like with costumes. So some of them are costumes like popular characters, because why play as Link if you can play as John being Link?
Fair enough. Anyway, the reason that having a costume in Ultimate doesn't eliminate Ribbon Girl is because we've seen this sort of thing happen with Chrom, where he has not only a costume, he was part of Robin's final Smash and was his own character. So
also Falco, also many.
But just to go on to mechanics, Ribbon Girl's main thing is that she jumps a lot, which, we've seen in characters like Jigglypuff and Bayonetta before, and the idea of a Bayonetta with long-range punches kind of scares people. So let's hope it's not Ribbon Girl.
Okay, who are the other three, quickly? Because
Twintel is the one that punches people with her hair. She hovers and slows things in an aura around her. Fun design, pretty boring character to play. Don't really see that happening. Ninjala, he's a ninja. He teleports. It's really annoying from that 5 minutes of ARMS I actually played. He was kind of popular, but isn't as popular anymore. The most popular character, according to the most recent ARMS poll, is a character called Min Min.
Okay.
Who has two main gimmicks. One, she has a kick that deflects things. Seems fair enough.
Two, she makes the game appealing in China.
And secondly, one of her arms turns into a dragon.
Okay. Wait a second. They have a character that already does that. That's what's his name?
Corin.
That.
So yeah. Not an awful lot of creativity in the ARMS characters. I think the majority of their base, their power set, is actually going to be from like the different weapons you equip on your fists in the game. Because that can offer some diversity.
Basically, ladies and gentlemen, Thomas and a lot of other people have been inside too long for a week. So therefore,
I have no idea what's going to be this character. The only thing I know is that an ARMS character basically eliminates any possibility of me getting Rayman in Smash, because they basically do the same thing.
All right. Shall we move on to a snack break then?
And I have a whole Fighters Pass 2 of theorizing that I could be doing right now. But fine, snack break time it is.
Okay,
we'll save it for another podcast.
Maybe. Help me. Anyway, snack break.
Snack break.
Yeah, it's Stomp now. This snack break is Stomp.
Ooh, those look funky. It's got an equivalent Mr. Peanut on it as well. But this one's not dead or a baby. So.
Yes, so I have Mr. Peanut's Japanese cousin.
Why is there a packet that comes from inside this packet? Is it a packet full of smaller packages?
Yes, because this is Japan. Everything is a packet full of smaller packets. Also, the packets in the packet were on a plastic tray.
Why?
Because Japan loves the environment so much. This is Peanutsu Age, I think. If I can read. I don't know what that means. It means peanut something, but wasabi. It's wasabi flavored. These are essentially Yes, so our English listeners might know them better as chipsticks. Thomas,
How is that not just a French fry?
Because it's not the same brand.
Does it really matter?
Yes, because they look like the same. Anyway, these are peanut chipsticks with wasabi flavoring.
Other chipsticks are available.
Yeah, possibly. Who knows? But yeah, there's a crunchy and they smell of wasabi and fried. I assume they're like fried peanutty things. I assume they're made with like peanut flour or something.
Huh.
Yeah, Japan don't skimp on the wasabi. There goes my block nose.
Nice. That's what you need in flu season.
I will say it is really good. These are good. They're crisp and then crunchy, so they disappear as soon as you munch down on them. So you get the crunch, but then it's gone, and all the flavoring comes. So especially the wasabi, you get a kick. You get a kick when you eat these. Oh my! Oh dear! That's spicy. Well, it's not. It's wasabi flavored. Out of most of the Japanese stuff that I've had just covered in wasabi for no reason, this one is this is up there with the good reason. Because lots of Japanese crisps just tend to be really oily if they're not covered in some kind of flavoring. But this is wasabi flavoring, so it's good. My. And that was a snack break for Peanutsu Age. Age means fried in Japanese, so it's literally peanuts fried.
Nice. Well, fried peanuts.
Yeah, kind of, but they're like crispy chip things.
Weird.
Exactly. But they're 100% something.
They are certainly 100%.
Find them on our Instagram at the Gaijin John. Come, like me just posting Japanese food. I'm getting better at it. They're getting more Instagrammy, I promise. Thomas.
Yes. Hello. It is me.
I'm sorry, this is going to be the rest of the podcast. Tune in next week for more Japanese-related things if you want to leave. But who do you think would have been the next Smash character?
Oh, well, goodness me. There's a lot to choose from. Most people are expecting a Pokemon representative from Sword and Shield to follow up from the additions of Greninja and Incineroar from the last two games. And considering that both those were starters and we haven't had a grass starter since Ivysaur, there's speculation that it'll be Rillaboom. However, the representative from Generation 4 was Lucario, and we haven't had a Pokemon introduced from Gen 3 or Gen 5 yet. So, who knows? Thoughts, John?
I'm interested in all these franchises, and that conversation poured out of my mind. No. Basically, I don't... Sword and Shield is very popular, but none of the Pokemon have got that super popular yet. Though I can imagine them putting out or planning to put out a new Smash character at some point because they have DLC for the new Pokemon game starting. But also they don't have complete control over the Pokemon IP because it's partially owned by Game Freak. So that again is one that's slightly more complicated. I also, outside of Japan, I don't know. Japan, like everyone loves Pokemon, but I don't know how iconic the new Pokemon designs really are outside of Japan. And it feels like, especially the starters from the starters' final evolutions from this game they're not very iconic, or they're at least very similar to Smash characters we have before. Rillaboom is a big monkey. He's Donkey Kong.
He could even have Donkey Kong's old Smash with the drum rhythm game.
You could literally reskin Donkey Kong as Rillaboom.
But he'd have, grass attacks instead.
Yeah, he'd just hit you with grass. Makes as much sense as the rest of the Pokemon. The fire one is just a footballer rabbit, which is just Wii Fit Trainer. And Inceleon, which is a zappy water reptile.
Just Greninja again, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just Greninja again, isn't it? So I think, I don't know.
I'm not all that excited for Pokemon
Yeah,
either.
Pokemon's cool. I really enjoy Pokemon. Played the last game. It was great. Played it to completion. Cool. I really don't care about Pokemon in my Smash.
Is there a Pokemon from Generation 3 you'd have liked to add into Smash, John?
The thing is, Generation 3 is my favorite set of games. So I would just say all of them. This is my chance to rep my boy Tropius or Tropius. I don't care how you say it. If you love him, you're in the family with me. He is a leaf-based dinosaur, which would be the out of a Gen 3 Pokemon that no one has thought about since Gen 3. Total rogue pick there from Nintendo. Yeah, seriously, like no one even remembers this Pokemon exists, and only I love him because he is a he's a palm tree dinosaur. And they didn't even put him in the game that was Hawaii themed. They didn't put the palm tree dinosaur in the Hawaii themed Pokemon game. So I can't trust Nintendo to do anything after that. So
yeah. So Pokemon's kind of if it happens, it happens. There's a good reason for it to happen as well, considering what they did with Byleth to promote Three Houses DLC. So there's a good chance for that, but neither of us are interested really. Looking back on the original Fighters Pass, obviously we had Piranha Plant from Mario,
yes,
which was a Nintendo game. We had Joker from Atlas, which is a Sega-owned company. We had the hero from the Dragon Quest games, which was Square Enix. Banjo-Kazooie from Rare. Terry is from the SNK. And Byleth is obviously not a Nintendo game. Now, what do you notice about the pattern of those companies, John?
Is your Nihongo Jozu? No, is it they all Japanese?
They're all Japanese apart from Rare. Now, I've looked at a bunch of speculation for Smash Fighter Pass 2, and a bunch of people are asking for characters like Master Chief, Doom Guy, Minecraft Steve, Crash Bandicoot.
I mean, they all so fit.
And on the matter of Rare being a Microsoft-owned company, that's obviously where people are getting the idea of things like Master Chief. But I remind you that Rare only moved to Microsoft in 2002, and before then they were with Nintendo since 1994. They've been with Microsoft as long as they were with Nintendo at this point. So there's a reason for Nintendo to reach out to Rare to get a character like that. And also, I think Banjo's really going to be the rep for the whole puzzle platformer mascot era of video games. I think that kind of makes it weird to add someone like Crash or maybe even Spyro to the game after you've already got Banjo.
This brings up a question, though. Are there any other non-Japanese origin characters in Smash?
I think it's a very small proportion. The majority of them are Japanese.
So, after some serious Googling, Thomas and I have looked through all the 75 characters in Smash, now possibly 76. No, Banjo and Kazooie is the only Western-owned character, we think.
Obviously, some of them will have like influences from Western developers or stuff like that. All the franchises are Japanese-owned.
Yes.
Yeah. At a stretch, you'll get like another Rare game mascot at best if you're looking for that. But I mean, they did things like Donkey Kong Country, Conker's Bad Fur Day, GoldenEye if you want James Bond in Smash, Battletoads.
Battletoads is in Killer Instinct, the Microsoft fighting game.
Kill Instinct is also a Rare game.
All of Killer Instinct in Smash Bros.
Back to that later.
Christ.
So yeah, it's basically unlikely that I should be looking through a list of Western characters when instead I should be looking at things that are either upcoming from Nintendo, which they're likely to promote, or from a Japanese game studio, which they're more likely to be able to talk to anyway, considering the current state of things. I know.
Or even willing to talk to, because this is Japan.
Yeah, I realize that all of these characters have probably already been slated long in advance because that's how planning works. But like the DLC fighters are decided by Nintendo rather than the Smash team, and they're more likely to want to do business with a Japanese developer, as evidence has suggested so far.
Yeah, because they have the same idea of like IP rights and stuff, which Japan gets very controlling over that kind of stuff. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Now, out of the upcoming Nintendo first-party releases that I could find, the most likely I could find were Xenoblade Chronicles having a remaster, which might mean that they already have Shulk, who's from the actual Xenoblade Chronicles, but they might use the main character from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Rex, which, if you remember my discussion about ARMS earlier, wasn't able to be added to the game because Smash was too long in development when that became relevant. So they might add Rex. They might also have No More Heroes 3 is coming out. So the No More Heroes series were games that were on the Wii originally.
Yeah,
so
they were basically lightsaber game on the Wii.
Exactly. And the main character, Travis Touchdown, is the most likely character from that to get involved in Smash. I know it's another sword user, but so is Rex. So
yeah. I have one good idea. I have one good idea, and I want to leave it to the end.
Okay, we'll save that to the end. I haven't got any more Nintendo games, though. I'm going into other Japanese game studios now.
My idea isn't Nintendo.
Okay. So I'll list off the game companies.
All right.
Bandai Namco, pretty well known Japanese company. Hasn't got an awful lot of games, but it has got some pretty well known staples. I think the Tales of series has been pretty popular going around the circles in Smash. Most likely to have a character called Lloyd Irving from Tales of Symphonia, which is a dual wielding sword character.
We are getting in deep. I have no idea who these things are. But
This
yeah,
does get
sure.
deep, yeah.
Sure.
Alternatively, another pretty popular character idea is the Chosen Undead from Dark Souls.
Just keep on moving.
Capcom. We've already had some representation from Capcom before. We already have Mega Man and the Street Fighter characters in Ryu and Ken, so there's reason to go back to that well. And Capcom has a bunch of different games to push at the moment. They're doing really well. They have Monster Hunter still going. There was a lot of...
Doesn't have a good character for it, though.
Now that Byleth has got the weapon switching move set down, I don't think a Monster Hunter really makes sense. Speaking of Byleth, Dante was a really popular pick around that time, and there's still room for that.
Yeah.
Resident Evil currently has a Resident Evil 3 remake coming out soon. So there's a small chance of one of the main survivors from Resident Evil being in, probably Jill Valentine if they're going that route.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Alternatively, they might add a bad guy instead. I don't think Nemesis or Mr. X would get in, but if they are going to add a bad guy, I would want them to add Albert Wesker, the main overarching nemesis of the whole series, because he can do some really cool stuff with that, I think.
Okay, let's speed through them. Let us marathon these.
Let's see. They're definitely not going to use Morrigan Ainslad from the Darkstalkers games because
no, they're not. Because
Smash is for good boys and girls.
Not even because not even I know who that is. Keep on going. Because I am a massive nerd, I'm going to assume that if I haven't heard of them, it's not going to happen.
Okay. Koei Tecmo, new company. Ninja Gaiden.
No.
Dynasty Warriors?
No, moving on.
A dead or alive character.
No, because they just love money.
Okay, that also removes Disgaea as an opportunity.
Here is a message for people at home. Don't give Koei Tecmo money. Don't. They will just come back for more.
So here's something that might seem like a curveball. Konami.
Oh, Christ.
But Konami already have two representatives in Smash already. They have the Belmonts from Castlevania, and they have Snake from Metal Gear Solid.
And coming soon to Smash, a pachinko machine.
It's hard to really say if they'll add anything from a different thing. I don't want to go into different Castlevania and Metal Gear Solid characters.
Oh, Christ, please don't.
The other options are the Contra characters.
Yes, because Contra Rogue Core did so well.
Maybe, really, hopefully not, but maybe Silent Hill. I don't want to see Pyramid Head in Smash. I don't think that works really well.
No. I want to see Kirby's transformation when he's Pyramid Head.
Kind of ruins the whole horror aesthetic.
I know people said that Bayonetta like wouldn't go into Smash, but yeah, fine. But Pyramid Head, no. This is a game that is like rated 12.
Sega.
Sega.
So there's an awful lot of cross promotion of Bayonetta with a game called Vanquish, which is a high speed third person shooter.
No, sorry, I've played Vanquished. I love that game. It's a great game by Platinum Studios. There is no way in 60 million years because the main character has absolutely no personality.
Doesn't stop Link.
No, but like Link's whole thing is that he has no personality. Like they try to give Vanquish guy a personality, and he's just an American guy in a mech suit. Yeah.
Okay, then, if you're looking for personality, how about a protagonist from the Yakuza games, John?
That I'd go for. Yeah, I want Kazuma Kiryu in Smash Bros. Yeah, he'll just no. Actually, that's a great choice. Yeah, that 500% all in.
Another weird choice: Super Monkey Ball.
Yeah, why not?
That would be really bad and really dumb.
I know 5,000 yen on that. Boom, let's go.
SNK also has Metal Slug and Samurai Showdown.
Maybe. Metal Slug could be fun. Who knows?
But I think is more likely because of the list of possible characters is going to be a Square Enix rep. The main thing to address with Square Enix is that obviously they have the big Final Fantasy VII remake coming up.
Ooh,
the other thing to address is that Cloud is already in the game.
Add the person who dies, spoilers. Or Sephiroth.
Maybe. Yeah, the options are maybe Tifa, maybe Barrett. Most likely, if they're going to add any character from Final Fantasy VII, it will be Sephiroth.
Listeners at home, I'm with you. I have no idea who these people are either.
Punchy girl, guy with shooty cyborg arm, or sort of demi-angel with katana.
I still don't know who these people are. Someone send help, please.
Okay. Alternative suggestions: Final Fantasy Online, Tomb Raider, Just Cause.
Tomb Raider could be fun.
Tomb Raider's not bad. That'd be a bit Link-esque, I imagine. It would be like new school Tomb Raider, though. It wouldn't be dual-wielding guns, unfortunately.
This is starting to feel very PlayStation All-Stars.
Yes, I've wanted to avoid that as much as possible. That's why I didn't include things like Kratos, or I believe they had a Dante in PlayStation All-Stars, but it was like the new DMC one.
Yeah, but they also had a skin. He could be blonde Dante.
I don't know. They're making a Trials of Mana remake. Not likely. Mm-hmm. I doubt they'll add another Dragon Quest character, but they might add. They have a bunch of other RPGs.
But I want to play as the slime, Thomas. I want to play as the slime.
Slime for playable character, please.
They have Piranha Plant. Why not slime?
Why not slime? Here's some quickfire suggestions. Octopath Traveler?
That was my secret. Damn it. Octopath Traveler was my secret guess.
How would you do Octopath Traveler considering there's 8 characters to choose from?
You do like a Switch. You literally do like it. You make it their entire gimmicky Switchy thing.
Or like Pokemon, but even more.
Yeah, pretty much. Or maybe you have like four of the characters and some of the different skins. Because it seems to me, because I've just started playing it, is that lots of the characters do very similar things to each other. Mm-hmm. So you just have 2 sets of 4 or something. Octopath.
One that's kind of a good guy, one that's kind of a renegade for each class, it seems.
So it's just basically Octopath Traveler, very traditional art style that they do. I think that would fit quite well if they want to do some shenanigans.
Other options are Chrono Trigger, which is like a real classic RPG.
Yeah, maybe.
And The World Ends With You, which was pretty popular on Nintendo DS.
That's still quite popular on Switch. They have that on Switch now, and it's one of the... Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about Square Enix, there are also 2 very popular picks that I'm not so convinced on, but let's hear them out. 2B from Nier Automata.
Yes, but also she uses a sword, Thomas. I thought we hated...
And she has a gun.
Oh,
but like a drone. How about Sora from Kingdom Hearts? What's your take on that? No! I don't think John likes Sora from Kingdom Hearts. That one is the most difficult to pass, obviously, because you got to deal with Square Enix, you got to deal with Disney, and obviously Disney is going to be difficult to communicate at this time. So we're not going to hear anything from that for a while.
Never in the middle. That is never going to happen. In a million years, I will eat something that you don't want, that I don't want to eat. No, because the only things that make Sora interesting, it's not even Final Fantasy. I can't even remember the name of the game. Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
The only thing that makes Sora interesting is the Disney characters. And you can't have him be a fighter without the Disney characters. And to get that, you need the Disney sign-off.
What is your opinion on having Daffy and Goofy running around the stage with you and just beating the heck out of people?
I would rather have Ampan Man. Ampan Man for Smash!
Now, obviously, those are going back to companies that have already done deals with Nintendo, so it's not massively likely that Nintendo would go back to those wells, but they seem more convincing than going to like Bethesda or Microsoft for a character. And let's be real,
Thomas, please name a like iconic character actually made by Bethesda and not anything owned by id Software.
Okay, so you're gonna kill me for this, but I was thinking, if Nintendo wants Doom Guy, they're going to have to go to id Software. If they want to go to id Software, they've got to go through Bethesda. And if Bethesda wants a character from their roster added to Smash, they're going to want the Dragonborn.
Oh God, that's boring. That is horribly boring.
I can picture it now. Your neutral special is flames. Your
God, no.
Your side special is a charged up Fuss Rodar. Your up special is Whirlwind Dash. And your down special is eating a bunch of cheese wheels. Your final smash is you summon a dragon. It'll either be Anduin,
Parthenax,
or that one dragon you enslave.
No.
Because you're a good guy.
50,000 times no. Oh.
It's going to happen, John. Brace yourself.
And on that note, I think it's time to end the podcast.
Oh, I didn't even get to, me costumes, which is the most fun part.
No, Thomas. This is enough. We have been recording for over an hour.
Did I break your spirit with Dragonborn? I'm so sorry.
I think you broke my spirit about 20 minutes ago, but sure. If you made it this far, well done, listeners. You did better than me.
Yeah.
We are Geeks and Gaijins on Facebook, Twitter, Podbean, Spotify, iTunes, whatever. I keep on wanting to say Stitcher, but I don't know what Stitcher is.
Why would you think of that then?
Because it's things other people say. I'm nothing if not someone who copies other people. Have you not seen the evidence the entire podcast? But no, make sure you keep having a listen. Thomas might have things for the YouTube. Who knows? We stream every week on Twitch at some point. Who knows? We actually had people watch the other week. That was fun.
What are we going to try playing this week, John?
We are going to try play something. Probably more Danganronpa and probably some My Hero Academia smashy thingy game too. It's a My Hero Academia fighting game, so we can weeb over it. Have I missed out anything, Thomas? Remind me.
No, I think you covered everything that we're doing right now. Obviously, we're just doing what everyone else is doing, which is staying at home, which gives us plenty of time to watch anime, play video games, and speculate on which me costumes are going to come into Smash.
Well, I'm not. I still have to go to bloody work.
Yes.
Whether this podcast might date very badly, make sure you listen to the next one to find out. Arigato gozaimashita for listening, guys. Bye.
So, let's talk about Steve from Minecraft.
No!